Alright, so today I have here with me the new Pavo Pico II by BETAFPV, and in this video I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about it first, and then we'll take it out for some flight tests where I'll demonstrate to you how it works. Now I've already unboxed it, so I'm not going to do a full unboxing here or show you how to install the air unit itself in this video, but I will make another video on that soon. For this video, I want to focus more on what exactly is the Pavo Pico II and who does it appeal to. So for those who are not familiar with BETAFPV, they're a brand that specializes in making tiny whoops and cinewhoops for the beginner who, like myself, are just starting out in the FPV hobby, but they also make quads for those who are seasoned pros as well. Now this one here is part of the Pavo series, so these models are 100% compatible with DJI's O4 digital system. And I would say that it's better suited for those who have an intermediate level of flying skills. For example, if you've already mastered their Aquila 16 beginner level FPV quad, then you should feel very comfortable transitioning to this one with ease. So BETAFPV designed the Pavo Pico II as a crossover hybrid between their Pavo 20 Pro, the original Pavo, and the Pavo Femto. But what makes this one stand out from the pack is that you can now mount both DJI O4 Lite and O4 Pro units using a newly designed bracket that mounts right onto a custom carbon fiber plate. As for the internals, it incorporates an F4 AIO flight controller with dual battery eliminator circuits, or BECs, that support 9 volt 2 amps for the O4 system and 5 volts 3 amps for adding external devices. So you can possibly add a small LED light strip on it for night flights. Another thing that they've done is added a new shock absorbing system that removes the jello effect issue that the O4 Lite suffered from. So now you're able to get very smooth and stabilized video footage, unlike the Meteor 75 Pro O4 version, which currently suffers from this jello effect. I actually did a video on this a while back, so if you want to check that out, you can just click right here. As I mentioned, the Pavo Pico II comes with 2 mounting brackets, one for the O4 Lite and another for the O4 Pro, and they both include 6 rubber grommets, screws, etc. Now one thing I want to mention here, which is very important to know, is that the grommets with the rounded ball design that eliminates the jello effect are only for use with the O4 Lite. The shorter square looking grommets are for the O4 Pro, so keep this in mind when you're installing them. Let's move on to the motors real quick. These here are the new Lava 1102 14,000 kV motors, which are supposed to give you a 10% increase in thrust. And these right here are 45mm tri-bladed gem fan props. As for the power, it uses the new 2S Lava series batteries, which are 7.6 550 mAh LiHVs, which stands for high voltage lithium polymer. They have a discharge rating of 75 Cs, which is really nice. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that these have graphene in them, which makes them highly efficient when it comes to overall performance. It does have an XD30 connector and a balance lead, so you'll need to use a charger that's compatible with it. I myself use the ISDT PD60 LiPo charger together with an XT30 adapter, and it works just fine for me. Now when it comes to the overall flight time of the Pavo Pico II, it differs for both the O4 and O4 Pro. So if you're using the O4 Lite, the flight time is around 6.5 minutes. And if you're using the O4 Pro, you get a tad over 5.5 minutes. But in reality, it's always slightly under that. Now the great thing about the Pavo Pico II is that you can use it with BETAFPV's Lite 4 ExpressLRS controller, which I also have right here with me, or with any other controller that has ExpressLRS on it. Now unfortunately, you can only use the DJI Goggles 3 or N3 goggles with it. It does not work with any other type of FPV goggles. Okay, I think I covered enough here, so it's time to take it outside and fly it. By the way, I'll be using these ND filters by BETAFPV for the O4 Pro, so we'll see how they perform as well. Alright, so I'm out here with the Pavo Pico II, and there's a couple of things that you have to do before you fly it. So if you purchased the Pavo Pico II and the Air Unit, whether it's the O4 Lite or the O4 Pro, you're going to have to bind the goggles first to the Air Unit, and then you have to bind or pair the controller to the ELRS module that's on board. So the first thing you're going to do is turn on your goggles, and how you do that is you press this button here once and then another. Sometimes it's hard to turn on, it's a weird way. All right, so it's like once, let go, and then you press it again and it turns on. Once it's turned on, what you want to do now is you want to turn on your Pro unit, or O4 Lite, excuse me, and you want to press this button, the power button, press and hold down for 3 seconds or so, and you'll see that the button will turn yellow and it'll start beeping. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you now. Hopefully you're seeing that. So you see that the button is flashing and it's yellow and it's beeping. I'm going to turn it off. So what that means is that it's in binding mode. So while it's in binding mode, you're going to go ahead and you're going to take the O4 Lite or O4 Pro unit. I'm doing it with the Pro unit here. And on the side here, you're going to see it says bind. And there's a little small button there that you can access with the paper clip or the tip of a pen. And what you want to do while that's on beeping, you want to press that once, and it's going to search for it, and it'll automatically pair to the to the Pro unit, sorry. Then after that, you're going to want to bind the controller to the module, the onboard module. While I'm on that topic, I want to let you guys know that there's 2 versions of the Pavo Pico II, and I believe it's the same for the Meteor 75 Pro 04 version, if I'm not mistaken. There's 2 versions. There's one that has the ELRS module that allows you to connect to any ELRS controller, like this one I have here. And there's also the SBUS version, which allows you to connect to DJI's FPV3 controller. I'm not sure if it connects to any other FPV controller as far as DJI products, but that's what the SBUS version is for. So pay attention to that when you're ordering it, or if you plan to order it, make sure you order the correct one. So I'm using the LiteRadio 4 here by BetaFPV, and this one's pretty cool. How to bind it, so it's pretty simple, and it's just like other FPV, BetaFPV quads that they have. How you do it is you want to connect and disconnect the battery 3 times. So basically what you do is you saw what I did. So you connect, hear the first chime, disconnect, do it a second time, disconnect, and then on the 3rd time you're going to leave it connected. And what that's doing is now it's ready to be paired or binded to the controller. The controller you're going to turn on, right? And after you turn on the controller, what you're going to do is you're going to press the bind button on the bottom. You press it once, it starts beeping, and then it'll search and connect to the controller. See, connected, now it's blue, and you heard that chime, that beeping sound. is letting you know that now it's paired to the module, the ELRS module. And that's basically it. That's all you have to know. Now with the goggles, now I'm just explaining this from a dummy point of view, excuse the phrase. With DJI, you have to go into your settings, the status setting, and then you're gonna see, once you have paired it to the goggles, you're gonna see that the O4 Pro or the O4 Lite is gonna be among the options to choose from, and you want to click on that to make sure that you're using the right unit. So this is the LiteRadio 4 that I'm using. It's brand new from BETAFPV. I'm not going to go into an extensive review on it. I'm just going to do a quick preview to show you how it works. So this is a Bluetooth controller, so now you can connect it to any SIM wirelessly via Bluetooth, or you can also connect it via USB-C, sorry. So these buttons on the top here, this one is to start and turn off the motors. These here are your flight modes, sorry. And this one here is not like the other quads where it controls your speed setting. And I'm not sure if you can modify that in BETAFPV. I haven't tried it yet, but how it's set up now is just for beeping. So if you press it down like that, you'll hear the beeping noise. That's so if you crash, it gets lost, it's easy to find it. This here is for the crash flip setting or turtle flip mode. And what you do is you do that. Wait, let me turn it off. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to actually insert the battery so we could do this properly. So let's say you crash and it's like that. So what you want to do is you want to press this button here, turn on the motors, and then you're going to go left or right. And you saw that it just flipped over. So that's turtle flip mode. Turn that off. And these two buttons here, I believe, are to just toggle between channels. I'm not sure, so I'll have to play with that. And that's basically it. And then these two here are for trimming. So if your quad is moving to the left or right or front or back, then you just trim it with these two little buttons here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take her up for a quick flight and show you how she performs with the O4 Pro unit. Alright, so now that we've seen it perform outside, what's my final take on the Pavo Pico II? As a newbie to the FPV hobby, who has somewhat of a level of flying experience, and who still practices on the simulator, I think that flying the Pavo Pico II for the first time was extremely easy. I know that everyone in the hobby has their own style preference when it comes to how they like to fly, whether it be racing, freestyle, bando, bashing, or whatever it is. But me personally, I'm the cruiser type. I just prefer to cruise low and slow while getting those cinematic style shots that look so awesome in FPV. I also don't mind the pre-tuned rates that it has on it. For me, I was able to fly it without feeling overwhelmed. So yeah, it totally works for me. As far as the video transmission range and quality, I mean, it's DJI, right? What's there to say? Now, there's two things that I noticed with the Pavo Pico II, which kind of sucked for me, and that was the battery time. I know that they mentioned that it's supposed to give you a flight time of 5 minutes and 40 seconds, but the best I got was around 4.5 minutes or so for each battery, and that's before getting the low voltage warning, which prompted me to land. The other thing is that it does not like to fly in any mild winds. It tends to get pushed around a lot and struggles quite a bit, so I don't recommend flying it on any windy days. Other than that, I really didn't have any other issues with it. So in conclusion, I like it. Do I recommend it? Sure. Is it for everyone? It depends. It basically comes down to one's personal preference, what you'll be using it for, and your budget. Now, is it worth it? I'd say yes, but as always, it's best to do your own research before you plan on buying anything. That's my own take on it. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care out there, and may God bless you all.